5, 6, 7, 8. Just listen to the beat, feel the rhythm, and most importantly, pee yourself.
Birds of a feather flock together, gaining roof coat. I was wood dog, now I pay like Renault.
Welcome to my channel.
Number one victory royale. Yeah,
I'm gonna be all up in those feet.
10 kills on the board right now. Just wiped out tomato pound.
Well, I guess we're doing this now. Hi, I'm BeatFox, and we're gonna talk about how My Little Pony Telling the Tale is so terrible and why you shouldn't watch it at all. So here are my thoughts on My Little Pony Tell Your Tale. Oh God, where do I begin? My Little Pony Tell Your Tale is a YouTube series, pain and suffering, an experience, the ultimate patience test that you can watch on YouTube. Now, I'm gonna be upfront with you guys. As soon as this immediately got picked on the poll, I was fearing for my life. My sanity was already out the window before, but now you guys have forced my hand to watch this show. But before I get carried away, let's talk about the show. Let's talk about the good in the show. Let's talk about why My Little Pony Tell Your Tale is good. What are some aspects that I enjoyed about this show? The animation was better. Now that's not saying much, but it's still better. My Little Pony Tell Your Tale is a 2D animated YouTube series. The animation looks very cheap, but also not the worst thing I've ever seen before. Now I get that this is even on a lower budget than Make Your Mark, but I feel like the 2D animation works in this show's favor. You see, the issue with Make Your Mark's animation was that it's too uncanny valley. Sometimes the animation will be fine, and then it will just speed up randomly for no reason, and it just overall ends up falling flat. My Little Pony Tell Your Tale is somewhat more appealing to look at in some cases, but sometimes feels that it's not unique, that it's not standing out from the rest of other shows that are on television, or even videos and shorts on YouTube. I've seen a lot of people criticize this show for looking like the quote-unquote Cal art style. Well, I personally don't think this art style or animation style is inherently bad. I do kind of see where other people are coming from when they say the show feels cheap, but I do feel like there is some merit to be had with the show taking this 2D style approach to its animation. I feel like the jokes are funnier. Oh, my bad. Jokes are funnier. I feel like the animation isn't as jarring as it is in Make Your Mark. And honestly, at the end of the day, I just personally prefer 2D animation over 3D animation. Yeah, that's great and all, but what about the show? What is the show about? Is it any good? Well, so I'm not gonna sugarcoat it for you guys. This show is essentially Make Your Mark, but it's in 2D. That's literally all this show is. I'm not gonna go over things such as like the story because I already covered that in the last MLPG5 video. But I mean, it doesn't matter anyways because watching the show you would barely notice the plot. I mean, there's that one episode called Haunted House where Opaline sends Misty to try and get Sparky the baby dragon, but it doesn't work, I guess. And then it's like, oh well, on to the next episode. And also, speaking of Opaline and Misty being in this show, does that mean Make Your Mark and this show are connected? Because if so, oh my god, why? Does Hasbro honestly expect me to watch both of these shows at the same time to find out why certain plot details or certain things are in this show and not in the other one? Or how certain things pop up because of the other show and vice versa? For example, in episodes like The Game is a Hoof. To boil down this episode, Zip basically calls everybody to say, hey, my glasses are missing. Who took my glasses? The plot ensues, a pointless chase scene happens, and then Izzy gives Zip some new glasses. These new glasses give Zip detective vision, you know, from the Batman Arkham games. These glasses appear in Make Your Mark. So my point is, why does Hasbro expect the viewer to watch both shows and know everything that's happening in both shows so that way they can recognize things that happen in one show and it's I'll give you another example and then we can move on to something else. In one of the episodes, there's just a van. This said van then appears in Make Your Mark in that stupid Christmas special. Yes, I did watch the Christmas special. It's still awful. Just small things like that. Just, I don't know. It's just weird. It's not not bad. It's just like, why? It's so pointless. But anyways, moving on. Now it's time for the characters. Again, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I still don't like these characters, or at least these versions of these characters. And look, if you like these characters, that's fine. Let me do my best to explain why I still feel this way. The movie's portrayal of these characters are 10 times better than what we get in Make Your Mark and in this YouTube series. I just feel like there's no, like, to their personality. There's no special thing that makes them stand out. Let's go in random order here. Zip's character is still a detective in this show. It's not as heavily as focused on as in Make Your Mark, because I haven't gotten that far in the show, which you'll see why in a second when I get to it. But it's pretty much the same thing. It's just weird. I don't hate Zip. I just hate that this is her character. I don't know. It's just weird. Let's see who's next. Hitch's character in Tell Your Tale is pretty much the same from Make Your Mark, but somehow slightly worse. Like, I don't know what it is, or like he doesn't get enough screen time or development or literally anything outside of like one episode that I can recall. That episode being called Alicorn Issues. And I do appreciate this moment in the show because it gives some development not only to Sunny, but to Hitch as a character. You see, I like when the show slows things down, takes it down a notch, actually lets the characters breathe and talk about what's going on in the episode, instead of this like a million miles a minute just I'm so fucking sorry. Forgive me, I'm fucking stupid. But I hope you get my point. Hitch is the only guy on the show, and I can't relate to him at all. There's not a single trait about Hitch in the show that makes me like him. So yeah, that's Hitch. He's somehow worse in this show than Make Your Mark. Then we have, oh god, not this bitch again. Look, I'm not gonna be as harsh as I was in the last G5 video, but still, let it be known, this is probably one of the worst characters MLP has ever made. Pip is the one character that I will actively groan every time she's on screen or has an episode. Making Pip do these stupid, oh god, TikTok clip, what the fuck even is this shit? For example, in episodes like Clip Trot, Pip is trying to recreate a popular dance on Clip Trot.
Bunny, bunny, do the bunny, annie, annie. Bunny, bunny, do the bunny, annie, annie. Kick up your paws and slide to the right. Shake your tail now side to side.
Oh, I fucking can't. I can't. And I think my hatred for Pip doesn't come from her herself, but it comes from the fact that, again, they've modernized MLP, and this is the result of it. So yeah, that's that on Pip. It's not that I hate Pip, the character itself. It's just the way in which she's presented mostly. There are a few exceptions, but still, the way that she's presented is not consistent, nor is it good. Next, we have Sunny, which I don't hate Sunny, but I don't know, man. This is the main character for Gen 5 again? Like, don't get me wrong, Sunny isn't a bad character per se. Sunny is MLP what it should be at its core. I feel like my problems stem from Sunny is not a bad character. It's just that her supporting cast is not ideal. And also due to the fact that we haven't had much of focus on her, but leave something for the viewer to at least be hopeful for, be excited about, keep them guessing on what's gonna happen next. Yeah, so that's my thoughts on Sunny. But there's one more character that you almost thought I would forget. No, I didn't forget. I saved this one for last because this one is comically baffling on how this iteration of this character came to be. Yes, Izzy. I think everyone has seen the comparisons by now, but if you haven't, I'll explain. People's complaint with Izzy in the show is that she's a carbon copy of Pinkie Pie from My Little Pony Generation 4. And while yes, there is merit to this, I'm not sure if I 100% agree, but it is blatantly obvious. For example, in the episode titled Dumpster Diving, I can only surmise this episode of being a what the fuck moment, like in what the fuck am I watching moment. Not only is it a bad episode of Tell Your Tale, but portrays Izzy in a carbon copy, diet Walmart Pinkie Pie-esque manner that's just lazy and written with no care at all. There's at one point where Izzy just dives into the dumpster because she needs to find a ring that can fit the gift that she's gonna give to Sunny for Maritime Bay Day. And then a musical number just plays for no reason? Like, what the fuck is happening? The pacing is all over the place and it's just confusing. And I guess at the end of the episode, she makes the lantern, and I guess this is the lantern from Make Your Mark that I was talking about when Opaline sent that rat in to try to get the lantern in that one episode. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if this is true, then why the fuck do I have to watch the Tell Your Tale series to understand what is happening in Make Your Mark? Again, I could be wrong on this, but please correct me if I'm like right or wrong, because I have genuinely no idea what the fuck is happening. But anyways, back to Izzy. There are some episodes where she's not as annoying as in episodes like It's TUES Day or The Unboxing of an Izzy. These episodes are fine. I have no issue with this. But when we get bad Izzy episodes like the aforementioned dumpster diving, or episodes like Secret Admirer, I don't know. I butchered the fuck out of that title, Jesus. Episodes like these aren't really helping Izzy's case. There's even episodes where she acts just completely out of character and just like a complete dickhead. Like in the episode called Maritime Bay Day 2.0, Pip is putting together a video of all the highlights of the Maritime Bay Day celebration that they have at Maritime Bay. She's editing the clips and showing her friends like all the behind the scenes stuff and content for her upcoming vlog or stuff for her YouTube channel. And then Izzy says, fuck that, I'm just gonna click random buttons and just delete your whole timeline. Oh, it's like putting together a daisy chain.
Oh, so it's kind of like making a daisy chain. But instead of daisies, it's weird talking picture squares.
No, it's not. It is the most boring task out of being a YouTuber. I would know. I'm making this video right now and listening to myself edit this painful video I'm making for you guys because I want you guys to have the best content possible. And if I have to sit through this garbage show and this painful editing process to make you guys happy, I will gladly do that because I give the slightest amount of a shit when I edit these videos for you guys. Izzy just casually deleting Pip's timeline, even though I absolutely despise Pip, somehow made me sympathize for Pip and hate Izzy. If somebody randomly just came up to the thing that you were working on for a whole day, a week, months, a year even, and just goes in the editing program and just deletes it and is like, oh, sorry, you would lose your mind. It's just random as fuck that Izzy would just do this. And yes, they do make it up to Pip at the end of the episode where they recreate Maritime Bay Day in their garden, but I don't know, this episode just wasn't it for me, at least. So yeah, that's Izzy. At least I don't think Izzy's the worst character in this show, but she's probably second place right underneath Pip still, because I don't know how this show managed to make me hate a regular normal character that I didn't have a problem with before, but it somehow managed to do it. Every time you watch an Izzy episode, it's gonna be a dice roll on whether it will be good or not, and that's why I just don't like Izzy in this show, because I have to pray to Jesus Christ and God himself in the hopes that this Izzy episode won't be complete utter dog water. So yeah, that's my thoughts on these characters. They essentially act like they do like in Make Your Mark, but somehow worse in some cases, and it's just overall forgettable, if I'm being completely honest. Now, this is part of the video where I tell you about how bad some episodes are, but there's one problem, just one small problem. Have you seen the number of fucking episodes there are? Like, Jesus Christ, as I'm recording this, 48 episodes. And if you think I'm gonna go through 48 episodes of a show that I already don't like, then you must be crazy. I want to say I gave this show up until the 16th episode before realizing that this was the show. I'm not kidding you when I say that when I got up to the 15th episode of this YouTube series, I was falling asleep. I was tired while watching this show. I was texting my friend during some of these episodes. You know who you are. I was more interested in talking about this image that you see on screen right now than what was happening on my television screen. And mostly due in part, probably, is because of the dialogue. Half the time, it just feels like characters are just spewing out verbal diarrhea out of their mouth and just saying things to say things. And that not only fucks up the episode, it just confuses me as the viewer watching this horse shit. No pun intended. It also doesn't help that the episode's pacing is actually the worst. I get it that this show is supposed to be short and simple and high energy and straight to the point, but in some cases I do feel like it's a detriment to not only the episode but to the series format in general. I'm not even saying you can't make this work. I'm all for short form content when it's done right. Why do you think things like YouTube Shorts and TikTok are doing so well? There's clearly a market for it and people want more of it. But the way MLP Tell Your Tale does it is just agonizing and annoying. For example, there's this one episode called Nay Fever where the plot point they introduced makes no sense, and then halfway through the episode they just forget about another plot point that happens in the episode and never resolve the episode's issue. Like, there's no sort of direction or pacing. I mean, have you seen the episode called Sparky Sick? When the only thing people talk about that episode for is when Sparky the baby dragon farts in it, rips ass in Misty's face? That's not a good sign. And this is one of the more recent episodes of Tell Your Tale. I mean, I really can't blame Hasbro. Have you seen who the show is written for? Have you seen what audience watches these shows? I only have so much patience and time in the world about Sparky farting in Misty's face, or an episode where they try to recreate a TikTok dance, or an episode where a character just dives in garbage, and there's a song number where she sings about diving into said garbage for no reason. I just can't do it. Before I just give up, I tap out. No more. No mas. I can't take it anymore. And these are my closing thoughts for this video and this show, YouTube series, whatever you want to call it. Fuck off. Just fuck off. I've sat through Make Your Mark for this channel. This tops that somehow. I don't want to watch this series ever again. Is there some redeeming qualities about this show? Maybe, but I don't want to sit through garbage to get to the point. This show ultimately boils down to halfway decent episodes that didn't make the cut for Make Your Mark, or just utter, complete dog shit ideas that didn't make the cut for Make Your Mark. Hasbro clearly wants this series to be quantity over quality, and that's fine. But just know this, if those Make Your Mark episodes that come out later this year are bad, then was it worth it? Is watching this show while you wait for Make Your Mark episodes to come out even worth it at all? Because this YouTube show is just not for me. I just want the things that I watch to be good or to do better. That's it. That's the video. See you guys next time when I talk about Equestria Girls. Jesus Christ. Okay, bye-bye.
Feet.
Chief, why is there a bunch of horse pornography in your search history?
Why does it matter?
Just curious.
It's just art.
Look, man, I'm not judging.
Yes, you are.
I mean, it's a little unusual.
Why are you looking through my stuff anyway?
That's my job, Chief.
Your job is to help me complete the mission.
Ooh, what's this? Starlight Glimmer hoofing Twilight Sparkle's Mare Cave?
Don't play that. Do you regret it?
Yeah, I really do.